Hello guys, today I would like to proceed reading about Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe's adventures, and today I will read like this. I will stop when I see seldom used word, maybe, as for me, and I will explain the meaning and maybe spelling. Okay, so let's start. I observed in this last part of his discourse, which was truly prophetic. Okay, what is prophetic? It's Prophetic, and its adjective, it's about accurately predicting what will happen in the future. Like predict future. Though I suppose my father didn't know it to be so himself, I say I observed the tears run down his face very plentifully, especially when he spoke of my brother who was killed. And that when he spoke of my having leisure to repent, I would like to explain this word. Okay, it's the verb and it means feel or express sincere regret or remorse about one's wrongdoing or sin. And okay, very good. And none to assist me. He was so moved that he broke off the discourse and told me his heart was so full he could say no more to me. I was sincerely affected with this discourse, and indeed, who could be otherwise? And I resolved not to think of going abroad any more, but to settle at home according to my father's desire. But alas, a few days wore it all off, and in short, to prevent any of my father's further importunities. Let's take a look. What is importunities? Um, It means persistent, sometimes annoying, like persistent at the level to be annoying. Okay, and here it's a noun. In a few weeks after, I resolved to run quite away from him. However, I didn't act quite so hastily. Let's stop on this word. It's with excessive speed or urgency. Okay. As the first heat of my resolution prompted. But I took my mother at a time when I thought her a little more pleasant than ordinary, and told her that my thoughts were so entirely bent upon seeing the world that I should never settle to anything with resolution enough to go through with it. And my father had better give me his consent than force me to go without it. That I was now 18 years old, which was too late to go apprentice to a trade or clerk to an attorney. Apprentice, it's a person who is learning a trade from a skilled employer. And that I was sure if I did, I should never serve out of my time, but I should certainly run away from my master before my time was out, and go to sea. And if she would speak to my father to let me go one voyage abroad, if I came home again and didn't like it, I would go no more, and I would promise by a double diligence to recover the time that I had lost. This put my mother into a great passion. She told me she knew it would be to no purpose to speak to my father upon any such subject, that he knew too well what was my interest to give his consent to anything so much for my hurt, and that she wondered how I could think of any such thing after the discourse I had had with my father, and such kind and tender expressions as she knew my father had used to me, and that in short, if I would ruin myself, there was no help for me, but I might depend I should never have their consent to it, that for her part she wouldn't have so much hand in my destruction, and I should never have it to say that my mother was willing when my father was not. Though my mother refused to move it to my father, yet I heard afterwards that she reported all the discourse to him, and that my father, after showing a great concern at it, said to her with a sigh, that boy might be happy if he would stay at home, but if he goes abroad, he will be the most miserable wretch that ever was born. I can give no consent to it. Let's take a look at Wretch. Wretch, it's an unfortunate or an unhappy person. Something bad? Okay, I guess this is it for today. See you next time. So we read about Prophet, and I remembered the musician band from Norway, Future Prophecies, and I would like to add their track. It's kick-ass drum and bass. Hope you enjoy it.